Well, what would be your recommendation for him as far as to keep himself safe, to not make himself a target?
Well, like I said, first thing is your mom's house, your mom's rules. Okay. Second thing is, you're a level-headed guy, man. I've known that ever just talking to you when we met last time and everything like that. You've got a good head on your shoulders. You're very cool. You're not a hothead. There's not much I need to recommend to you.
You met him before?
No.
Oh, when we met last
No,
time.
well, like on the net,
Yeah,
blah,
okay.
blah, blah. If he was a hothead or thinking he was going to run around and cut people's fingers off with a bolt cutter or something, I'd be telling you, don't let him do this.
Yeah.
But he's very level-headed. He's very cool. He's very calm. He's in good shape. He can take care of himself.
But can he take care of himself?
I think he can. I think if he uses, I think if he uses good judgment. And I know he'll use good judgment. I don't think he's going to, like Burt Reynolds in Cannonball Run, going, "Yay, give me some," and jumping, or Dom DeLuise would be a better example, Captain Chaos, and jumping into the middle of the gang. That he's not going to do something like that. He's not going to do something like that. I trust his judgment. I
was so concerned about the whole gun issue.
Right.
And he had said that he had been going to order a bulletproof vest. I said, put it on hold. I mean, we're talking about a kid that, he doesn't really get an allowance.
I would advise it, depending on, like I said, I don't know where you guys are from or anything, but depending on where I go and what I'm doing and who I'm with, I do wear body armor on occasion. I've got, like I said, level 3 body armor.
What is level 3 body armor?
Level 3 will stop everything, even like large caliber handguns, and then I've even got level 4 plates for certain occasions that could stop a rifle cartridge. He's
walking around in homemade gear that, he thinks would protect him from someone, using a knife on him. He thinks his gear would, but that's it. Other than that, he's unprotected.
No, I'm protected against everything but bullets.
Yeah. Like I said, in order for him to be... You want me to give him advice to be safe, but I think he would be safe. I think he would be, unless he literally walked around the corner into a riot, which I doubt is going to happen, I think he would be safe.
Well, how could he be safe, though, if he's not really wearing decent protection?
I'm wearing very good protection. I'm probably, I would venture to say I'm among the best protected people.
Well, here again,
other
you
than a
told me
bulletproof
against
vest.
knives.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I don't care about knives, what about guns? But anyway, my point is, you're a grown-up, you've had a job, you have an income, you can spend your money on whatever you want to spend. He's a kid, he barely has money to get by, at college. We supplement his income all the time.
Right.
What realistically, like he was getting ready to spend, $400 on a bulletproof vest.
That's about what they run.
But it's like, really?
Well,
$400 on a bulletproof
look at it this
vest?
way: he could be blowing the money on a kegger.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's another thing. He's a very responsible boy.
Yeah,
That's what
true.
Right, he's a very responsible boy. Like when you guys say, "Oh, where did I go wrong?" If anything, you did things right.
Where did I go right?
Where did you go right? Because he's a very responsible guy. He's not, blowing it.
Well, and I've always thought that in every other respect, but just from a parental point of view, when your child tells you this is what they're doing, because it's so unrealistic and it's never anything that you really think of.
Right.
You go, oh my gosh.
By the way, anything that I would be spending, everything that I spend on gear, I've got $700 saved, and that's all that I dedicated a percentage of every paycheck from the pizza place.
See, he's even allocated his funds.
I designate about $20 to $40 from every check, and it went into a box, and that's just where it is, and it's not going to do anything else.
Sent people gear over the years, or funding for gears. As a matter of fact, I sent a kid a whole gimmick one time, and his mom caught him. and she was actually relieved that he was a real live superhero because she caught him in the gimmick, which was a Siamese cat suit. So
she wondered what was going on.
She was like,
yeah.
"What the hell are you doing?" And he just was like, "Mom, I'm a real live superhero." And she was like, "Oh, thank God." She probably thought he was a gay prostitute.
Right.
And so from that point on, he could do no wrong. You be a superhero all you want. You know?
Yeah, just don't be a gay man.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't have the heart to tell her he was probably better off as the.
Well, you guys talk all the time, so apparently you don't have any questions. So is there anything you'd like to impart that I haven't asked?
Well,
that
you've been very
I
thorough.
Need to know?
No, ma'am. You've been very thorough. You've been very thorough. Like I said, I trust his judgment. I trust his judgment that if I thought he was a reactionary hothead or unbalanced or something like that, and there are guys older than him that I wouldn't trust to watch my back on a patrol or on an outreach or something like that. Him I would have no problem with whatsoever. And you've been very thorough. You've covered all your bases. You say, where is he coming up with the money for this? He's allocated his funds. What is he doing when he's out there doing it? We've tried to explain that as best as we can. Made it very clear, your place, your rules. If you don't want him doing something, he's not doing it. If you don't like him out by himself, he's trying to find, you know.
Do you advocate safety in numbers?
Absolutely.
That they
absolutely.
Really, like, I mean, it seems like having a partner in anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Even a partner in crime. You know, I mean, you're safer than doing something
absolutely.
alone. So,
yeah.
I don't know that you've ever had any sort of a confrontation or a conflict physical with anyone, you know?
I mean, sort of.
But not really.
Well,
I just don't know that you would know.
I've gotten into squabbles before. I haven't told you because
I would trust
friends,
him.
But
I would trust him not to panic. I would trust him to do what he has to do in a situation like that. I think he'd be just fine. I've known a lot of guys over the years, and wow, Eurocopter, and I think he would be just fine. I think he would be just fine. But like you said, I'm a huge advocate of safety in numbers. If you are going to get a team together and this kind of thing, you just make sure that they know in advance. One of the rules of this is that you meet my mom. Sorry, you don't like it? There's the door to the Hall of Justice. You know, see you later.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you embarrassed of me?
That is a little embarrassing.
No.
Hey guys, look, let's start a super team, but under one condition.
Sorry.
You gotta meet my folks.
Yeah.
Under one condition, we're having a barbecue this Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, hey.
We're having a super barbecue.
I'm an advocate of that. Your mom's house, your mom's rules. You know, that's how that works, man. And if your mom wants to look your partners over and, you know, make sure you're not hooking up with David Koresh or something like that, that's more than her business.
Yeah.
Who's David Koresh?
Waco?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, this has been very enlightening, very informative.
I don't know. Do I have one of Master Legend's business cards? Let me take a look.
How was your sandwich, by the way?
Oh, it's fabulous. Thank you.
My barbecue was excellent. What'd you eat?